Jeff Cowan here from Jeff Cowan's Pro Talk. Thank you for watching and listening. I'm back today with another version of my podcast entitled Write Service, Write Your Own Paycheck, The Path to Making $100,000 a Year or more when writing service in the automotive industry. And you know what, as we're recording this, like I say every week, over 20% of you in the automotive field writing service are making six figures or more, but that means 80% of you are not. So how do you 80% turn into six-figure people? You keep listening to me, you invest in my products, you come to my workshops, you take my training, you listen to this podcast, you take the information I give you and put it into practice, and you too, if you're really serious about it, will be one of the ones that are making over $100,000 a year. Well, I've been listening to you, and like I always do, and you got a problem right now. And one of the problems I'm hearing through text and emailing and even through some telephone calls and when I'm out and about doing my workshops is you've got a problem. You've got people coming in and talking about taboo topics. Now, what do I mean taboo topics? We all know, you've heard me preach this before in my training, that there's three things you never want to discuss with a customer when in a selling situation, and they are, in no order of importance, sex, religion, and politics. Sex, religion, and politics. Death to sales. Death to sales. Sex, religion, and politics. Death to sales. Why? You can go with your best friend on Sunday morning and sit in the same church in the same pew and hear the same preacher give the same sermon. And 30 minutes after that's over, that church visit, you go to the local IHOP and you're cutting up your pancakes with your best friend of 20 years and you start talking about what that preacher said. Within 5 minutes, you'll be arguing. Why? It's religion. When it comes to politics, the same thing. You go with your best friend of 30 years on election day, the same ballot booth, right? You vote for the same person for the same job. 5 minutes later, you're out in the parking lot and you start talking about that vote, which was identical to your friend of 30 years. You'll be arguing within 5 minutes. Why? It's politics. But the problem is we're smart enough not to talk about it, but guess what's happening today? Well, right now in Canada, and especially in the United States, it's very, very politically charged. So everybody's talking about politics. So how do we get around that since it's death to sales? Well, wouldn't you know, I've got a solution. All right, now, what I'm going to show you here is how to handle these customers and get them turned around so you don't lose control, but you still get the sale and you keep the customer. So first, let's take a look at this customer. First, we got to ask ourselves, why would somebody come in and bring up a topic like politics in the next election or whatever it is regarding politics if they know that these things always lead to arguments, okay? Well, it's because they're in a customer and an employee relationship, and they're smart enough to know that when there's a customer and an employee in a relationship, the customer is always right. You have to listen to them. Now, once they start talking about politics, let's just stick with that one since that's the one that's a hot topic right now, politics. Here's some tips. Number one, don't take the bait. Don't take the, I don't care if what they're saying is exactly what you believe. Don't take the bait and start talking about it because you'll lose the sale, you'll lose the customer. I don't care if what they're saying is so whacked out, you're wondering, should I be dialing 911? Don't take the bait. You'll lose the sale, you'll lose the customer forever. Okay, so don't take the bait. But what we have to do is we have to let them talk. Now, before they start talking, though, here's a couple things that I want to put out there. Number two, this is the only time it's ever okay to turn your back on a customer, because you're going to see in this little thing I'm going to show you here, I'm going to turn my back on the customer. This is the only time it's okay to ever do that in a sale. You never want to turn your back on a customer unless it's this situation. Why? Because when you turn your back, you lose eye contact, you can't see their facial expressions, you can't see their body language, you lose control. To the point, when you're talking to customers and you're walking around, wherever it is you're walking around your service drive, you always face them and you walk backwards. But this is the one time it's okay to turn your back on your customer. 3, this is one of the few times it's okay to ever interrupt your customer, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to interrupt them because number 4, we're going to wait until they take their first or second breath, and then we're going to interrupt them. So we're talking somewhere between 20 and 40 seconds. And you say, well, what could they say in 20 or 40 seconds? And I can tell you this, enough, all right? So how do you handle this situation now that we got these rules? Well, I'll tell you in a second, but before I do, I want to let you know something. Next week, I'm going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, doing my 2-day workshop. The week after that, I'm going to be in Phoenix, Arizona, and then I've got a couple of private events coming up, and then I'm going to be in Indianapolis, Indiana, doing my 2-day workshop, and then after that, some more private events. But you want to get signed up for one of these public workshops. I'm telling you, it's the best workshop out there. I don't care if it makes me sound pretentious. I'm telling you, this is a hot workshop. I've been doing this for over 31 years, and this is the best one I've ever taken out on the road. If you're serious about writing service, you're serious as a service manager or business owner, and you want to have the absolute best on your service drive, they have to have the formula. I've got the formula. If you want the highest numbers, I'm going to show them how to get them. You want the highest sales, I'm going to show them how to get them. Highest hours per repair order, highest effective labor, I'm going to show your people how to get them. I'm going to show them how to get perfect survey scores, and I'm going to show them how in just 9 to 12 months how to get your customer retention above 80%. This is serious stuff, man. I'm going to be there teaching them myself. Atlanta, Phoenix, Indianapolis, Indiana. Get signed up. It's not too late. Get there. You're going to love this stuff. The results we're getting from these workshops, according to our attendees, is off the charts, okay? And don't forget, we also have online training. We have in-store training where we visit your store and stand side by side with your advisors or your managers, because we also have manager trainer. 85% of the time we're in your business, we're out there side by side coaching, critiquing, role-playing, writing service, or managing, showing your people how to get it done. If you're serious about what you're doing, you found the right company, you found the right guy, we're going to show you how to do it. It's real simple to get any information on any of this stuff. You simply go to automotiveservicetraining.com, automotiveservicetraining.com. You can get yourself signed up for the workshops or learn about our other products, or you simply dial 1-800-248-2931, 1-800-248-2931, and anybody that picks up that telephone can get you registered. Okay, so get registered for these workshops and find out about our products. If you're going to be there, why not maximize the opportunity? So back to this. Now we got a customer comes in, they've been talking about politics, and we've established, number one, you don't want to talk about them. Number two, we've established we don't want to talk about it. We've established this customer's doing that because they know they're in an employee-customer relationship and the customer's always right. You can't argue with them. We discussed how I don't care what they're saying. If it's exactly what you believe or it's the exact opposite of what you believe, don't take the bait. We discussed how this is the only time it's ever okay to turn your back on a customer. The only time, because when you turn your back in any other situation, you lose eye contact, you can't read their facial expressions, their body language, you never turn your back, but this is the one time it's okay, and this is one of the few times it's okay to interrupt that customer. So how do you do this? All right, so I'm standing there talking to the customer. They start talking politics. They take their first or second breath. Now, I like to do it on the second breath. And the reason I like for them to do it on the second breath is let's let them get as much of this out of their system as we can before we flip it around on them, right? So the second breath, I let them take their second breath. Here's what I do. I interrupt. You know, Mr. Customer, I really appreciate you coming in here today and talking to me about the upcoming election, because you've given me several things to think about that otherwise I'm sure I would not have thought about, and I may have made the wrong decision. So I certainly appreciate you giving me these things to think about. But that said, you didn't come in here today to talk about politics. You came in here today to get your car checked in. Now, time out. It's at that point in time when I say it's time to get your car checked in, I will turn my back on them and start the first of 3 steps. This is very choreographed. I'll turn my back, take my hand like this, and I'll start taking 3 steps, and I continue to talk. You came in to get your vehicle checked in, and if you follow me over here on the second step, I turn around. You follow me over here, and I go like this. We'll get that process started. I'm assuming, Mr. Customer, since you brought the vehicle in, you're the primary driver. Is that right? All right, now use your imagination here. Use your imagination. We just took 3 steps, so now we're here. We're right here, me and this customer. We're starting the process of getting the customer checked in. Where's the conversation on politics? It's 3 steps over there. It's done. So how did I do this, and how did I not lose control, and how did I not make this customer mad, but instead get this customer excited about doing business with me? Well, let's go back here. Customer starts talking about politics. They take that second breath. And I don't agree with them, I disagree with them, but what do? I compliment them, I thank them. Mr. Customer, you know, thank you for bringing up the next election, because you've given me several things to think about that otherwise I probably never would have thought about, and I may have made the wrong decision. That's what they want to hear. If you watch them when you say that, they'll stand up straighter, they'll put their head up, their shoulders back, their chest out, because now, in their mind, they just saved you. They just converted you. They just got the extra vote that they needed to win that election. But notice I didn't stop talking, because if I stop talking after I say that, they're going to launch into a 20-minute speech, and you will lose everything. You'll lose your mind, you'll lose the sale, and you'll lose the customer. But instead, after I gave them that compliment, I did not stop talking. Instead, I spun on my heel, took my hand, went like this, and said, but I know you didn't come here to talk about the upcoming election. You came in here to talk about getting your vehicle checked in. I started my 3 steps. On the second one, I swung around, went like this to ensure they're following me, and they always follow you. They will be right there. I still didn't stop talking, and I simply said, so you came in to get your vehicle checked in, so we'll start that now. You brought the vehicle in, so I'm assuming you're the primary driver. Is that right? So there you go. If your customers are coming in, and I'm sure they are, and they're talking about the upcoming election, and you're smart enough to know that you never talk about sex, religion, and politics, they bring up one of those 3 topics, I just showed you how to get that turned around, allowing you to maintain your control, not surrender control, and not only not surrender control, but not lose the sale, not lose the customer, but instead make this customer so excited to be around you that they're more likely to buy everything and come back and continue to buy everything. You see what I mean? All right, well, this is Jeff Cowan from Jeff Cowan's Pro Talk with my weekly podcast entitled Right Service, Write Your Own Paycheck. It's the path to making $100,000, and I'm telling you right now, I just showed you how to make a lot of money and not lose a bunch of money. So if you want to see more techniques like that and the ones we talk about here, sign up for my workshop. Quit playing around with this. What do you guys think? Everything's going to be free the rest of your life? It's not. Somewhere along the line, you have to invest in yourself. Smartest investment you'll ever make is in education. Smartest investment you'll ever make is in yourself. So here's what I want you to do between now and next week. I want you to go out on your service lanes, your service drives, your service parking lot, wherever you're checking these customers in at, and I want you to get them excited about what it is you do and how you get it done and the many benefits that you have to offer them, and get them so excited they buy everything you ask them to buy. You take that commission and you start living the life you so deserve. 6 figures, go for it. You want to be in that group? Trust me, you do, because between now and next week, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get in front of as many people as I can, get them excited about my product, get them to sign on the dotted line and take the commission and continue the great life that I have right now. All right, so between now and next week, I'll see you soon. I hope to see you in Atlanta, Phoenix, or Indianapolis here soon. These are great workshops. You will never regret coming to one of my workshops. I guarantee it. See you next week. Take care.